How's it going? It's your boy, A-Swizzle, back at you with some competitive Overwatch gameplay. I'm playing Orisa, and I'll be playing her all game. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but in the background there's some of my teammates talking. I didn't record this live, and I didn't know how to cut their voices out later on, so that will be going on. So something I did at the very beginning, I'm not sure if you noticed it, I shot my barrier ability straight up in the air. That's not just for fun, it's actually a little bit of a reason for doing that. When you shoot your barrier straight up in the air, the cooldown goes off the instant you shoot it up. But your barriers, once they deploy, once they hit the ground and the actual shield part comes out, they'll only stay on the ground for 20 seconds. After that, they'll automatically come down. Right there, I'm baiting up the Roadhog thing. So by shooting it straight up, you start the cooldown, but because you didn't shoot it straight down, the 20 seconds doesn't start yet. So that's what I'm doing. A lot of the time when you're using your I'm playing on console, so my L2 ability, what would be the right click, I believe, for PlayStation players, or not, PC players. You try to pull people into the line of fire of the rest of the team. It doesn't go through shields. For example, if there's a Winston inside his bubble, you can't pull him out of the bubble. Same with Reinhardt shields. You can pull a Reinhardt if you shoot it through them, because despite not having a pull effect through the barrier, if you have your pulling ability then a shield than a person, it won't pull them. But you can shoot the ability through shields. The ability itself can travel through shields. So if you want to affect a Reinhardt, you just do that. Don't pull it early though. You can't pull Reinhardt towards you. You can pull them away though, while they have a shield up. So they take that pretty quickly. I was kind of just talking about concepts, not really focusing on the actual gameplay. So I really don't know what led to that steamroll. I think it was the Mercy res, although they were in a pretty whack position. I'm surprised they pulled it through. So here we get a group of 6. We're kind of spread out though. Some of us are on high ground, some of us are a little bit behind me. We get one kill. I think we get another one in a couple of seconds. And I asked the team to push the point, but I can't see to my bottom right. And so I just get hooked and die, and then they insult me. They're like, oh, yeah, that's what happens when you push the point, you dipshit, and then I'm upset. But it works out. We do bring the fight to them. This cart stops where I jump down. It works out pretty well. They're still running an offensive Widowmaker, which is generally not too great on PS4 unless you're using mouse and keyboard, which I mean at that point. Anyways, I don't know. Orisa, from my experience, isn't that great when you're trying to advance, but in spots like this, where we're kind of camping under this bridge here, she's very good. Now here, I had two options. I could try to run away, or I could contest the point. I decided if I tried to run, I would die, because 2 of my abilities were already off of cooldown. So if I ran away, I would have been ditching my barrier, and I would have been trying to get away strictly with my L2 ability and the Mercy heals. I decided that wasn't possible, so I just contested cart and used my already active barrier. Now I try to keep my setting up here, because they had to push either up through the castle, which definitely was the better option. They should have done that almost every time. Or if they continue to push through this street, they have to go through this archway that's surrounded by symmetric turrets, which isn't really none of the characters do that. They're running Roadhog plus Reinhardt as their tanks, which are the worst tanks at taking out those adversaries, which is leading to them kind of dying one by one. I'm not sure. Did we need the res there?
Yeah, they're gonna engage.
Yeah, we did. That was I really don't know what to say. This is just going too smoothly. Just kind of shooting the dudes that come at us. So here I pull that trick I mentioned earlier again. Because you don't want to do it in the middle of fights, there's too much pressure, but in between fights it's a pretty good time to do it. That way you'll get your cooldown back in fights. That's the main time you should be using that trick. Here, I try to bait out the Roadhog cloak, it doesn't work out too well, then he gets sound barrier. It still works out though because we have the symmetric turrets going on. Here, I might have used my ability a bit too early. People don't focus me though, they kind of, everybody else on the team pushes back except for Roadhog, and so he dies alone very quickly. Against a more coordinated team, where they could have all pushed or all retreated, that probably would have ended up worse for us. By the way, the Genji just got our shield jump, so we're in a pretty worse spot. Right? Like, okay, when you're using your L2, it's very good against flankers. Tracer is probably the one that's worse against at it because momentum breaks it. It will not pull in people that have an ability going that moves them. For example, a charge. It slightly impacts the charge, but not enough for it to really matter. So if you try to L2 like a tracer that is in the middle of a blink or a recall, the L2 will just break off.
Our Symmetra was just all $20.
So anyways, I decided to go with a attack Orisa. From my experience, attack Orisa is far worse than defensive Orisa. But I go with it anyways because I don't know, partially the other team seems to not have that much experience against the character, partially I just kind of want to play her.
Hey, you piss out. I'll play Symmetra.
Also, my mic has... not my mic. The people I've been talking with have been very loud in the microphone, so I'm just kind of turning that down. They don't want the Orisa, they want the Reinhardt, but I'm not about that. I think. Maybe I am. I don't remember. Like I said, this is a post-recording, I don't remember what I do. I do remember I was playing exclusively Orisa at this time though, so that is probably what I do. Yeah, okay, they fell for me. That's nice. Orisa usually works best as an off tank. She can serve as the main one, but it does not work well if the enemy team has heavy shield damage. If the enemy team has a Roadhog, and the Roadhog is smart enough to bait your... I don't remember what the ability is called, but the one that makes you CC immune. If the enemy Roadhog breaks your shield, baits out your CC immune, then you cannot hold the choke alone as Orisa without a secondary shield, or without a main tank like Reinhardt. They're like Reinhardt. It's very hard to hold chokes by replacing Reinhardt with Orisa. It's a bad decision. Can be done, just not as... so here, I'm just kind of trying to walk in. I use my CC immune to get rid of the slow effect from the turrets. I don't remember if our team had anybody else on our team who would be better at that, but it really isn't a problem for me, so I just go ahead and do it. Our Pharah gets an early kill on the Reinhardt, and then a second kill on Orisa, so we should be able to steamroll this. But it seems the rest of my team is slow to push the point. Yeah, they get stalled at the choke, the mage just got a kill. And we don't take out the Mercy quickly enough, so they get off a res. And now the Mei on the other team is gone. 2 kills, so now we only have 4 on point. I have pretty bad. I target the wrong person there. I should have just stopped targeting the Orisa, totally forgotten about her, and gone after the Mercy and Symmetra on point while I had that nano boost. I think if I'd done that, well, it works out. It seems. Yeah. We should be able to take the point from here. They have a teleporter up top, which the Pharah did not take out. So we're left with a sliver here. They just got 3 kills. I head back here, and the entire team chases all of them.
right now. They're all coming back.
I was calling out to the team to see if anyone could try to back cap while that was going on, but it doesn't work out. So now we have... Oh, my TV's so small. Well, my TV's not small, but rather the share factory bit is... Never mind. Dude, 2 minutes left to take this. We're all out of ult space. We have fair ult, but...
If not, just walk right through this.
I don't know. See, they already used May ult. They...
Both of May's abilities are...
I don't know. Anyways. We're at a deficient. So the May just walls me off, which I guess is enough. It kills me for a couple seconds. I took a lot of unnecessary damage there, but I do manage to get the soldier pick, which is a lot. Orisa's body's pretty big, so I can't get through there.
I got the May.
Now we're up 2 again, so we should be able to take this, but...
Everyone on point, everyone on point.
Yeah, oh, that didn't get too closer to the choke, though. I blocked the Earth Shudder there with my... shield, I think? I can't actually remember if I blocked it with my CC.
May's 1, or Mercy's 1, Mercy 1.
Something you can do with Orisa's shield, you can use it a little bit like you use Winston's shield, but it doesn't work nearly as well if you have an enemy both in front and behind you, where you try to weave in and out of the shield, because then they'll always be getting hit because it's one-sided instead of a sphere. Anyways, we do take the point, and from there we should be able to take it, because they didn't get it very far at all. Their Reinhardt is sitting here for some reason. He really shouldn't be. He's not blocking anything. It's just him and the Mercy. There's no reason to have his shield up. There's nobody doing damage behind him. So he should just be backing up and getting with the team. There's a Roadhog behind me, which I might... Yeah, right there. I was really out of position there. I was pushing way too far up to try to bait the Reinhardt into coming towards me, which he did. But in doing so, I definitely opened myself up to the Roadhog. He definitely could have hooked him. Anyways, our Reinhardt charges him way too far. I used my ultimate to back him up. You should all... Don't use Orisa's ult late in the fight, unless you're 100% sure it's necessary to win the fight. It's most effective when you start a fight with it, and the whole fight occurs while it's up.
I have an all account where I've had like...
A lot of the time you want to use your barrier ability to protect it. If you leave it out in the open, it is very little helpful, probably like only 100. So you want to stick with that ult, and you want to put a barrier around it. Otherwise you're really not going to get enough out of it. I don't know, that's it. I have a lot more Orisa games, I like the character a lot. Probably got like 10 hours on her now. I may upload more. Who knows? Have a good day. Bye-bye.